Welcome to Read to Bloom, inspired by Jan, who I adore. She came up with the concept of using the Forest app, in which I already use and love, making herself be productive in order to get more coins and unlock a certain plant. I kindly asked Jan for permission to hop on this idea and create Read to Bloom, in which is my version, and will be reading within the Forest app, setting timers and reading to them until I unlock a certain plant. The plan to unlock will differ each episode. These adventures will be filled with the usual coziness, reviews, and comfort with a slice of a reading challenge. So let's begin and read to build our virtual forest. Hello and welcome to Read to Bloom, a new series in which we're going to be using the Forest app to give us a little bit of a reading challenge. So judging by the introduction, I've explained the history to this challenge. A little bit more about the Forest app is that it's more of a kind of like productivity app. You set down a certain amount of time and then it locks your phone and the apps that you would usually gravitate towards to distract you, and then it gives you that set amount of time which is locked your phone for, and the longer obviously you focus for, or the longer that you lock your phone for, the more coins you get and the more you can build your virtual forest. So I thought it would be really fun to start off by collecting the coins to get the Lotus plant. This is 600 coins and I only currently have 169, so that's around 431 coins that we have yet to collect. So that is a lot of reading to do, but I just thought this was a fun way to read and just spend some kind of intentional time reading, but have like a little bit of a fun reward and challenge at the end of it as well. Starting off by reading the Safe Keep, you would have seen I started reading this last night and collected a few coins already. I am so close to the end of this book. Absolutely loving it so far. I'll give my full review once I finished it. So yeah, I'm just gonna dedicate some time now and set down a Forest app to get to reading this one. And also I'm gonna obviously be filling out my book tracker, in which is part of my read what's at home, and basically I have to read 20 books and fill them out on the tracker each time I finish a book. And once I read 20 books, that's when I can buy one, because I'm focusing on getting my TBR down. So yes, lots of projects ongoing on the channel, but lots of fun things to be excited about. So grab yourself a warm and hot drink, a cozy blanket, and yeah, let's get to finishing this book and building our virtual forest together. This is obviously episode 1. There are going to be many more to come because there are many more plants to collect, and I'm so excited. So let's go. friends. I feel like I only ever talk to you when I am ill. I am ill again. I am still battling this asthma / chest infection thing, and then top and tailed with my chronic illness. It is really knocking me for six. But I thought I'd just update you on my reading. So I finished the Safekeep yesterday, and I think I'm on I can't remember how many points, how many coins now, so I'll insert that here, but we're still with the goal to get to 600. So I really adored the Safekeep. I inserted a little clip of my written review at the front of the book, so please pause to read that if you're interested. But in terms of what I'm currently reading, that is The Soul Path. I started this last night, and I am on page 60. Really adoring it so very much. I think what I'm going to do this morning is go and run a bath and set a timer on Forest for a certain amount of time, and then read because I am loving The Soul Path so very much. It is about this couple, and it's a real life non-fiction story, and it's been turned into a movie. It's about this couple, and due to a bad investment, they end up losing everything to their name. And the wife of the couple this is kind of her tale and her story about it, because her husband is also diagnosed with a critical disease in which is due to deteriorate his body, and he's kind of given a life sentence of it, and only given a year or a couple of years to live, and so because they don't have anything to their name, because they're so lost in life, they decide that due to being homeless and not having anywhere else to go, they will put on backpacks, take a tent, and walk the South Coast Path. Southwest Coast Path. So it's 630 miles from Somerset to Dorset via Devon and Cornwall, living wild at the mercy of the sea and sky. So it is already so profound in its writing and making you question everything. It's got a note on homelessness in here, and the perceptions of that, and the judgment surrounding that. Just how you can look at someone and assume something about them, and also what it means to be living, and what it means to have a fulfilled life, and whether that really is material objects and things surrounding you, and what you take for granted every single day to provide comfort to you. It's just honestly changing the way I think about things, and I'm finding it so profound already, and only 60 pages through. So that's my review so far. I'm currently drinking my morning cup of cacao, so I'm gonna go run a bath, put the Forest timer app on, earn some more coins, and get to reading this magnificent book. So it is actually the afternoon, and I have been having a really slow day today. I've been doing a lot of life admin, a lot of playing with the cats because we got a free tent and some toys with their cat food, and they have been loving it, rolling around everywhere. I'll try and get some clips after once they get the zoomies again. But I think I'm on 226 coins now, and I only have that bit of remaining through this book left, and it is another beautiful bright blue sunny skies day today, so I want to head outside to the patio and continue reading. So I think what I'm going to do is set a forest timer for an hour. That way my phone is locked for an hour. I don't need to focus on doing any more life admin and stuff. I've just got time to dedicate to reading and get to this book and perhaps maybe finish it. I am absolutely loving it so far. It's just making me look at my life, reassess what I value so differently, and I'll explain more of my review once I finish it. But yeah, that's a little today's update. So let's set the timer, collect some coins and get to reading. So you would have seen I finished the Salt Path, in which I absolutely ended up loving. I did find the ending a little bit not lost, but I just wasn't connecting with it as much, but it was nice to see some sort of resolution come to it, which I know, with it being a real true life story, that doesn't often happen, but you were rooting for these characters the whole entire way. What I loved about it was its discussion around homelessness and people's reaction to that. It was very unfiltered and raw, and the kind of safetyness feeling of becoming homeless and becoming like akin to what you know and where you belong, and having that kind of identity, and the kind of swapping and changing between not having a home and then having this like purpose of walking, and then having to go back to work and feeling lost in that purpose again, and still grappling with the illness, etc, etc. I just felt as though there was just so much discussed in this book that I couldn't do it justice with holding a review for it, but it just really did make me look at my life very differently, appreciate my life very differently, and be grateful for the things I have, be grateful for what I can do. It made me look at my chronic illness differently, in terms of being thankful for the days that I do have good days, and trying my best to live every day as though it's the best I can possibly give without exhausting myself, and yeah, just like being kind to myself more, I suppose. And same thing with like buying things. I kind of, with having this kind of like health issues going on, I kind of fell into the pit of just ended up like buying a few things that I probably shouldn't be buying, or like kind of over consuming certain areas just to try and make me feel better, which I'm very much like trying to rein back in. And this kind of made me look at that again a bit differently, because it made me just sort of realize like what brings me joy, like what am I buying because I'm just doing it to buy, or what am I buying because it truly brings me joy and it brings me happiness, and it feels inherently good for me rather than it's good for me. So yeah, anyway, that aside, so that is the second slot filled on my tracker. So that is then when I've read the 20th book, then I can buy a book. This is all in attempts to get my TBR down, and I have started reading Whose Body by Dorothy L. Sayers, in which I've never read a novel by Dorothy L. Sayers, and I picked this recommendation up from, I think it was a Reddit post of, if you love Agatha Christie, you'll love these authors. So yeah, I am only 7 pages in so far, and already loving the introduction, loving how it's kind of set out, loving who I assume is our detective, Lord Peter Wimsey. and how the kind of murder's been set up, and the intrigue is already starting. So I'm going to set my timer for some evening reading now. I'm definitely over the 200, and I think I'm at 250 coins now, so that's very exciting. So getting even closer to the goal for the Lotus. And yeah, so I'm gonna get to reading for my evening reading and set a timer on the Forest app to collect more coins to get closer to the Lotus. So let's go. Good morning. Excuse the shark headrest behind me. He's like a plushy thing that I just use to rest my head on the bed. So a little reading update, because I had quite a slow weekend and like slow time reading that I didn't want to film for. I ended up finishing Whose Body by Dorothy L. Sayers and absolutely loving it. I love Lord Peter Wimsey so very much and definitely want to carry on that series. I just thought it was fun. At parts it did lose me a little bit, but I loved the jeering at being like them almost mocking detective novels and you're reading a detective novel. I just thought that was just so much fun, and yeah, it just added humour to the story. But yeah, at parts I did feel a little bit lost. So yeah, I finished that one, and I've been doing my forest timer while, because I leave my phone like downstairs and away from my bed when I go to sleep, and so I've actually been reading before bed and waking up, going downstairs to get my cup of cacao, and then coming up to bed again, drinking it and reading, which is what I'm doing right now for this update. And yeah, so I've been setting my forest timer while I've been doing that, and I've got like a good couple hours of reading, so I'm earning so many coins, which is great. But I'm currently making my way through the bookshop book. I am 36 pages through, and this is basically by Jen Campbell, and she is talking all things books, all things bookshops in the UK, and yeah, it's really fun. What I loved is the first kind of few pages was in reference to the bookshop in Wigtown, Scotland, and if you know, or you've kind of been around, then you know I read Sean's, who's the owner of the bookshop, kind of like diaries, yeah, that's what it's called, diaries, the 3-part series, I want to say, that he's kind of put together of his time being a bookseller, etc. He's still a bookseller, but yeah, running a secondhand bookshop. So that was so fun to sort of read that, because this is kind of referencing before those books came out. So yeah, it's kind of fun to kind of get into that. And then I'm also currently dueling videoing, because I'm doing Summerween, so I don't want to spoil all the books I'm reading for that. But yeah, I'm kind of having to film different parts. I've also been doing a lot of sketching. I'll put up a little photo of a picture I drew of sushi. I decided to do a bit of that while watching some YouTube. So yeah, really kind of getting back into that creative spirit again, which is a lot of fun. And yeah, so that's my little update. I don't know how many coins I'm at. I'll pop that on the screen here. But I don't think there's like too many left to go. So I'm gonna set my timer now, read in bed the bookshop book, and I'll check in with you soon. I also just wanted to note really quickly that I read The Salt Path earlier on, and it only came to my attention last night, this article that's been circulating around the roots of the Salt Path and also the kind of hidden history behind it. I'll leave a little article link down below so you can look at it yourself, because I don't feel as though I'm the right person to sort of be saying whether you should or shouldn't now read this book. I feel like that's something for you to figure out for yourself. It's left quite a bad taste in my mouth, especially because of how positive I felt towards it. And being like an old person, it made me feel a lot of hope, and it made me feel a lot of joy, and almost inspired me to sorry, that's KK. Yeah, it inspired me to want to go out like walking again and sort of like motivate me. So yeah, that's a little bit upsetting, but I'll leave the link down below, because I don't want to be telling you what you should and shouldn't read. And obviously they are accusations. I like
that they haven't, I don't know if they're like necessarily fact, and obviously the author hasn't responded to them. So yeah, I'm gonna get back to reading, give Coco a few streaks because she is demanding my attention. So I'll check in with you shortly.
Hey friends, so it's been a while since I last checked in because I ended up participating in ⴍᴇ괱, so I had to put this kind of adventure to the side, and I've read a few books since I last updated you, but obviously haven't been using the Forest app because I haven't been filming, so I thought that was kind of like defeating the objective I was doing it without us unlocking coins together. So I'm currently situated at 544 coins and we need 600, so we're so close, and I don't have a current read at the minute, so I thought it'd be fun to peruse my shelves, get into the flow of a book, and yeah, get the final few coins. So let's go ahead and do that together. So as you can see, I filled in quite a few, so I used obviously some of these for ⴍᴇ괱, and then I actually finished this one last night, which was just a general read from the British Library, so I'm not quite sure what I'm in the mood for. I think perhaps I might go for this because I've been very interested by it and it seems to be quite a shortish read, so perhaps it might pick up the pace quite quickly, so hopefully it will keep my interest. So I just finished Victorian Psycho and it also hit 600 coins, so we can finally buy the Lotus. I'm so very excited. And yeah, I actually really enjoyed this one. It was very unhinged, very grotesque in the end and gruesome, and if you are very flinching at gruesome and gory scenes, then probably you wouldn't pick this one up, but I feel as though it had such a good premise, a little bit of a plot twist that I kind of guessed near towards the end, but I felt like it was just short, sharp and quick, and a little bit different to things that I've read before. So yeah, I'm very excited to finally get to the Lotus, and that makes our challenge complete for this first episode of Read to Bloom. So thank you for joining me. I hope that you are enjoying this or enjoyed this episode and that you will enjoy this series. It's just a fun little way to read and have a bit of a challenge. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that wherever you are, whatever you do, you have a wonderful day or night. Until next time, friends. Bye!